if you were to look at all of my past videos, you'll see a common theme, and that is how to prevent yourself from getting hurt in the outdoors, how to increase your skill set so that you know how to make fire, you know how to navigate the woods without getting lost, you know how to prevent hypothermia, you know how to put together a survival kit for urban environments, for wilderness environments. But I can't really fault someone for thinking that this channel is all doom and gloom. Nothing can be farther from the truth. As far as I'm concerned, once you've mastered these skills, then it kind of frees you to go out and really have fun, because you're not worried now about, you know, worst case scenario. You have a mental game plan. You have certain items with you that will help you out in case something goes wrong. I mean, when I go out, I don't deliberately put myself in a dangerous situation so I can test my survival skills. That's really foolish. I go out in order to have fun. Now, one of the reasons I go out, and one of the ways in which I have fun, is to practice my photography. I enjoy taking landscape photos. I enjoy taking nature photos. I especially enjoy taking macro photos. Now, macro photography is a niche of photography whereby you take things that are very small and you magnify them so that you can see the detail. I've picked this flowering weed from my backyard, and right now, you know, you can tell it has tiny little flowers on it, but if you really want to get close up, you run into a limitation right away, because all of these camera lenses have something that's called a minimum focusing distance. Right now I have a 50 millimeter lens here, and the closest I can get to a subject is about 14 inches. And at that distance from the subject, you can't really, you know, zoom in on any detail. So how do we do this? How do we get maybe this close to the subject so that the small becomes large? Well, the easiest way to do it is to spend money. You can buy a dedicated macro lens for just about any camera model, from Canon, Nikon, Olympus, Panasonic, Sony. They all have a macro lens, but if you just want to dip your toe in and see if it's something you're even going to be interested in, you don't want to jump right out and spend $300, $400, $800, let's say, on a dedicated macro lens. They're all great lenses. I have one, but it's not something that, you know, you may want to try and then lose interest in, and, you know, you're out that kind of money. So I want to show you actually two quick ways where you can make something that's small larger so you can photograph it using gear that you already may have. Now, this is a probably 6-7 year old Canon Rebel camera, perfectly adequate for macro photography. And again, the only thing that you're going to need is a camera that has a detachable lens. That's the key here. If it doesn't have a detachable lens, this is not going to work. So any mirrorless camera, any DSLR, anything that was built, you know, within the last 10 years and has a detachable lens will work fine for this exercise. So in order to be able to get closer, the easiest thing you can do right now is take the lens off and turn it around. So you're kind of turning this into a magnifying lens now. Instead of the way the lenses are ground and the way they're shaped, it goes from making a large object small to a small object large. It's the reverse. So let's do that. Now you have to hold it here, which is a little bit awkward, but it will definitely work. And what I'm going to do also is, I have one of these alligator clips with a little bit of modeling clay on the bottom, non-hardening clay, and it'll just allow me to free one of my hands so that I can clip the flower here and take a photo of it, and you can see what I'm doing at the same time. So if I take the camera now and I have the lens backwards, camera is on, and I come up close, you see that I can get much closer now and take the shot. Okay, I took the shot, and you'll see it on screen in a second. Now, the thing of it is, when you get closer, it gets a little bit more difficult to focus because you're dealing with such small distances that your depth of field is really razor thin, and every little movement is exaggerated, and if you're not careful, you can end up with a blurry photo. But we don't want to hold this all the time. So our friends at Amazon have a reverse macro ring. These are made for every camera company. You just have to get the lens that fits the particular thread size of your camera. This one is made for this size lens, and what it does is it screws on the front part of your lens like so, and it allows you to mount the lens onto your camera backwards. You just have to match up the little dots. There you go. Like so. Now I don't have to hold it. So I can get right up there again and take my photo, and it makes it much easier to see. Now you have to be careful because the lens, the back of the lens with the contact points that communicate with the camera, they are exposed like this. So you want to be careful, not to get this wet or dirty. But this particular backwards lens mount that I bought comes with this piece that screws onto the front of the lens, which used to be the back of the lens, and offers a little added element of protection, kind of like a lens hood. So that makes it much more enjoyable to use. Now, if you don't want to go through that mess, you can get even closer by purchasing something else. Let me just take the ring off. Now you can also buy macro extension tubes. Now what these do is they sit in between the camera sensor and the back of the lens, increasing the space. And by increasing the space, you increase the magnification. It's the same principle as the old style movie projectors, where the closer you were to the screen, the smaller the picture was. But when you moved that projector further back, the image got larger until it filled the screen. So what you're doing here, and this particular set, again, it doesn't matter what brand it is because there are so many of these on Amazon. You just have to make sure that the ones that you buy have the same electrical contact points. There's no glass here, by the way. These are just hollow tubes, which increase the space. So now, this is a set of 3 actually, so you can use 1, 2, or all 3 at once, or any combination thereof. So now you would put this extension tube, right, and then put your lens back on the regular way. Putting the flower back in front. Now you'll see that you can get even closer to the subject, almost touching. I'm also going to hold this flashlight here just for some extra light because it's a really cloudy, gloomy day. And light is your friend when it comes to this kind of photography. So there you go. Set of extension tubes, about $20. A reverse lens, about $6. A set of reverse lens and a front protector cap, about $9. This is an easy and inexpensive way to introduce yourselves to a fantastic subset of photography called macro photography. If you have any interest in exploring the world of macro photography in more detail, head on over to Camera and Trail. It's my new YouTube channel. Just started it. Not much content on there yet, but I'm working on it. So hope to see you guys over there. Thank you for joining me here. This doesn't spell the end of Weekend Wanderer, fear not, but I do, appreciate that not everyone has an interest in photography. So I thought the best way to do this, because I do want to make a lot of these videos exploring this field in more detail, rather than bore the people who have no interest, I started a whole other channel. So Camera and Trail is the new channel. There's nothing on there yet but a channel trailer, so go over and check it out, and I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you here. Bye for now.